So I just finished Ghost of Yōtei yesterday actually at night, and I managed to platinum the game with around 95 hours into the game, so I have a pretty solid understanding of the game and what it contains. And I decided for my first YouTube video, I'm gonna make a tier list about the boss fights in Ghost of Yōtei. So there's gonna be a bunch of rules, of course. Now I'm rating them based on the boss fight itself, how cool it is, the scene and everything, and also the story that surrounds that particular boss. Now, of course, this is going to be my opinion, and if you have any other opinions, whether you agree or disagree, please let me know down in the comments below. Now, we're starting off this tier list with the snake, which is pretty interesting because the game uses the snake as a tutorial for the player to understand how Ghost of Yōtei works and how it functions. So you learn the mechanics in this boss fight, which is pretty fucking cool. For what it is, I think it's very, very solid intro for the game. It sets the tone and sets the mood, and it just throws you in there, and all of a sudden you're immersed. You arrive at this village, you can see the people there are scared, the residents are scared, and you can see the shack where the snake is actually hanging out, getting a few sake in. It's such a cinematic scene, and the way the boss fight happens is pretty cool in my opinion. Even though it's fairly simple and it's a very easy boss fight, and it acts like a tutorial, it is pretty fucking cool. The arena is nice, the mood is perfect, and just an amazing intro to the game when you slash the snake off the list. It is pretty fucking cool. So in my opinion, I would put this at very good. It is simple, it is sort of a tutorial, but for what it is, I think they nailed it almost pretty much on the spot. So next up, I have the Oni. Now, in the game, you could choose to go two routes. You can go to the Oni first, or you can go to the Kitsune first. So it's sort of like a diamond path that you can go that leads to, obviously, Clan Saito, and Lord Saito, should I say. I'm doing this tier list based on my order, so I did the Oni first, then I did the Kitsune. Now, the Oni, I think Ishikari Plain is so fucking good. It is such a nice area, and I think the Oni has some type of aura. It's amazing. His boss fight is very incredible. It's very climactic. You find out why his mask is half gone. It's because, obviously, little Atsu broke that off his face. It has some emotional weight to it. And the way the boss fight happens with his two phases, one inside the dojo and one is outside, the way he uses the way of the fire with his blade when he sort of, I don't know, ignites his flame. It's so fucking cool. Also, you find out a little bit about his backstory, and it is also compelling. It's a very nice story, how he used to be a samurai, and then stuff happens. Basically, he becomes the Oni. He got shot by a gun for the first time, and he felt fear for the first time, you could say. That's why he's called the Oni. Overall, I think the Oni is also really damn good. I think it was amazing. Now, quick FYI, it doesn't really matter if I switch the positions of the tier list, so from left to right, right to left, it's the same thing. There isn't a ranking system inside the tier list. Now we have the Kitsune. Now, I gotta say, the Kitsune is easily going to Masterpiece. The Kitsune boss fight is my favorite part of this game. It really is. The intro, when you get to the snowy area in Ghost of Yōtei with the Kitsune poisoning you, and you see a little bit of how ninja-like he is, and his clan, the Ninetales, and it's just such an amazing intro to that area. Like, you knew from the get-go, this is about to be fantastic.
Say that again?
It has an amazing plot twist where Oyuki, the shamisen playing girl who you meet at the inn for the first time, is actually the first Kitsune that was there. It has such a good twist that I myself didn't see coming, which is Oyutsu. Editor Badia here. So Oyutsu is not a character. What I meant to say was Uyoki, but my dumbass forgot her name, and for the entirety of this video, I was saying Oyutsu, which is not a character. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Let's continue editing the video. Actually being the first Kitsune that was there the night Atsu's family got murdered, and it was such a twist that I genuinely had no idea that's the route they were going to go for. Also, the way Atsu was trying to justify Oyutsu to not kill her because she's on this revenge path, but fighting it because of what happened that night, and eventually how you actually fight the real Kitsune. And that boss arena is so fucking beautiful. The boss fight is very interesting, the arena is very interesting, The kitsune looks fucking badass. There's a whole ninja vibe to that area, and especially with the kitsune boss fight, that it is just beautiful. I like the boss fight, I like the character, I like the story there. The game reaches its peak right there. Next up, we have the dragon. Now, it's called the Saito Brothers, the mission. I just separated both the dragon and the spider, even though the boss fight sort of incorporates both of them, at least one of the boss fights. But I managed to split them into two, and I'm going to be talking about each one separately. We have the dragon. Now, the dragon is pretty interesting. When you go to Oshio Coast, the last area in the game, it happened pretty fast. You do chase him pretty quickly as soon as you arrive to that area, but he gets away the first time, and then you have to fight him the second time when you capture the spider. And the dragon basically stays back with his gun, and then you're fighting his brother, the spider. Editor Badia here again. For some reason, I made another mistake, and I said that the dragon hangs back and you fight the spider. But we're talking about the dragon fight, and actually, in that boss fight, the spider stays back and you fight the dragon. But for some reason, I said the opposite thing. So, sorry again. Let's continue back with the video. It's pretty cool how to see the spider signaling his brother to take a shot and stuff, which is pretty clean. You can see he gives sort of orders while you're fighting him. He steps back, he does like a little hand signature, and then that's how his brother, the dragon, can know when he can shoot or not. It's a very nice arena, very chaotic, you could say. But from a story perspective, to me, this is where the game sort of started to feel a little bit stale in a way. Like I said, it's not really bad, it's just that it was definitely not the peak of what was before with the snake, the Oni, and the kitsune. So for that reason, I would have to give the dragon, overall, I would say it's good. Nothing too crazy, but it's good. But definitely the weakest in the story so far. Moving on to the other half of the Saito brothers, we have the spider, the more reckless brother, you could say. The spider is pretty interesting because at this point of the game, Atsuo is fighting within herself between being the Unryo or, having that humanity, that compassion, and to save her new family, which is obviously Jubei, her brother, and his daughter. It was pretty cool how when you eventually do fight the spider, Atsuo scratches that name from her list with his blood, but she doesn't kill him. So she lets him go because she no longer is on that path of revenge, which is pretty clean. Like I said, I think the story could have conveyed it a little bit better. But overall, I think the boss fight, the spider boss fight, was pretty meh in my opinion. You fight him in a fairly generic place. It doesn't really have a lot to it. It's more of a way to progress the story so that he can eventually help you reach Lord Saito. I just think that it was definitely the weakest in my opinion. Like I said, there's no bad. Actually, I might just change it up a little bit. I would say it's disappointing, right? Because nothing really happened. It was fairly generic, like I said. That's where I probably put the spider. Next up, we have the main man, Lord Saito. The man who started it all that night, he fucking massacred his family. And I got a few things I need to say. Now, because I said I was a little bit disappointed at the end of the game, it's because I feel like for Atsuo to go from an Unryu, vengeful spirit, to someone who's a little bit more human and has compassion, to know when to move on and not, I feel like it was done in an unsatisfying way. It didn't really feel earned, in my opinion. Again, it's not bad. I just feel like it could have been done better. The boss fight is pretty cool. You have two phases with Lord Saito. The first one is he's basically kind of testing you out, feeling Atsuo a little bit so you can know her level. And the second phase is basically where Lord Saito becomes Lord Saito and he goes all out and it's a fight to the death, me and you sort of thing. The game starts at Atsuo's home and it also finishes at Atsuo's home, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like a full circle moment, except this time that Atsuo isn't really looking for revenge. She's there to save her brother's daughter. For the last boss fight, the main villain, I didn't feel satisfied. I did not feel any emotion during that. I don't know why. It sort of felt a little bit stale in my opinion. After you're done with that boss fight, he just dies and that's it. Let's just say there isn't that oomph, I would have to put Lord Saito's boss fight as like it's fine, but it's definitely also disappointing as a final main villain. But I still prefer his boss fight over the spider because at least it has a nice scenery. It's at Atsuo's home. He's the main villain. The dialogue between them is pretty nice when you're clashing together in mid-boss fight. But that's pretty much it. This is my tier list. So we have the Kitsune at Masterpiece, the Snake and the Oni are very good, and then we have the other half of the boss fights. You can say the Saito clan, basically, the father and two brothers. And good, we have the Dragon, we have Lord Saito and Meh, and supporting, unfortunately, we have the Spider. So that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I get better at this YouTube content thing. This is my first time making a YouTube video in a long time. I was a kid when I last did it. Hopefully I get better at it. And if you do like this sort of content where I review games, make a tier list about them, also movies, and just overall reactions and talking about certain stuff, I do hope you subscribe if you like that sort of thing, and make sure you like the comment. Make sure you like the video, maybe share it with your friends who played Ghost of Yōtei, and I would appreciate your guys' support. This is it for me. Bye-bye.